Two things nobody likes about an outhouse: the stink and the cold seat. Hi, I'm Jackie from So Bright Creations. My parents have a rustic lodge. They have been maintaining and operating several outhouses for over 25 years. They always get compliments about how awesome their outhouses are. They look nice, they have minimal stink, and they have a hot seat. Wait, what's a hot seat? In this video, I'm going to share with you what a hot seat is and how you can make one too. Biffy is a nickname for outhouse, so we often call the hot seat the Biffy Hot Seat. Okay, here it is. This is the Biffy Hot Seat. It's made out of styrofoam SM, and I'm going to show you how to make it. We've got a piece of styrofoam cut out. My dad did it, and he's going to explain a little bit about it. So what is this material?
Styrofoam SM. It comes in 2 feet by 8 foot sheets. You can buy it at the building supply store anywhere. Comes in different thicknesses. I like to use 1.5 inches thick, sometimes 1 inch thick. Comes in different colors. We're going to show you later how to paint these things, so the color doesn't really matter. And the hole inside is cut with a jigsaw. It's a little messy. You get little pieces of styrofoam all over.
And how do you know how big to make this hole?
On the size of the holes that we have in our outhouse. So this distance from here to here is 9 inches.
Okay.
And from here to here is approximately 6 inches. This is a 2 foot width bought in the store this way. And then I cut it off here using an X-Acto knife with either a brand new blade or a really sharp blade, and extend your blade well out so you're using the best part of the blade. When you're cutting the styrofoam, just score it, and then just keep running over your score until you get it about halfway through, then you can just cut the whole thing. This is the best way to cut this product. It makes a really nice clean cut. About a 45-degree angle. I start with the tight blade, and I'm resting the edge of the blade on there and running it along. So one hand is holding it down tight. Lean it over your counter. Get it started. This just makes it look a little nicer, and it prevents the edges from chipping away at you. With lots of use, these things will eventually wear out and they'll get chipped up and you'll have to make a new one. But if you do this, it'll last a lot longer. And you'll find too, cutting styrofoam, it actually has a grain. The grain runs one way like wood. So when it starts to get to be an ugly cut, then reverse the direction of your cut. So now I'm going to try to do the inside. So I'm just gonna get it started. It's a little trickier on the hole, and my knife is bending, you can see that. But when it starts to get stuck, just go back and forth until you get I'm going against the grain on it now, I can feel it, so I'm going back and forth to try and make a nicer cut.
Now you can see that you can feel it when it's just smooth, hey?
That's right. Now, just one last thing. So this is the good side on it. I'll let the camera show you exactly what we end up with, an almost finished product. Just take a little bit of 220 grit sandpaper and just ever so slightly sand, and this is where you're going to find the grain. Oh, it only works one way. If you go the other way, you're going to rip it. Just a little bit. Go all the way around the edges doing the same thing, and that's finished, ready for sealing with Mod Podge, and then painting a final coat with acrylic paint. That's it.
So we've made our styrofoam seat. It's all cut out. And now what we're going to do is we're going to seal it with Mod Podge so that it is cleanable. For years, my parents have been using these seats without any sealer on it, but they do get a little gross over time. So we are trying a new method with the Mod Podge and the acrylic paint to see how it works. And by gross, I just mean they get a little bit stained, and then it makes them look not clean even when you do clean them. You may also notice that our seat went from pink to blue. This is just because we broke this video up into different segments, but they are both the same type of styrofoam SM foam. We did one coat of Mod Podge on one side and the edges, and then let it dry, flipped it over, and did the other side and the edges again. So the edges actually got 2 coats of Mod Podge. Okay, the Mod Podge is all dry now. I've got a piece of 210 grit sandpaper, and we're just going to give it a really light sand, especially on the edges. Now we're going to give it a wipe with a tack cloth. We're going to paint it with acrylic paint. You really want to make sure you stir this paint up. We're going with bright pink because what says a hot seat like bright pink? I used the same method as with the Mod Podge. I painted the top and the sides, let it dry, and then I flipped it over and painted the bottom and the sides. So again, the sides got 2 coats of paint and previously they got 2 coats of Mod Podge. Once it's fully dry, you can hang it up in your outhouse and it is ready to use. They truly are warm to sit on even when we use them in the wintertime, and it gets really cold here, like -40. Hey Emma, what do you think about these outhouse seats?
I love them because they're nice and warm. Nobody even has to warm it up for you. It's already nice and warm.
What about if it's really cold out?
Still warm.
Yeah,
I have to go.
Have a seat, Dad. Don't forget to drop your pants. Okay, that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and now go make your own Biffy Hot Seat.